Edwards on the drive, goes inside the floor. Turn him over again. Booker scoops it up. Booker brings the boom.
NBA Hardwood Show back on the Rump Your Sports YouTube channel here, breaking down the 7-game NBA slate over on DraftKings with my guy DC, aka Draft Cheat. DC, what's going on, brother? How was your Christmas? Anything fun happen? And how was the DFS slate?
Christmas was good. Long day of sports on Christmas. Starts at least here in Denver with I think it was 10 a.m. Knicks game, and then 3 football games, 5 basketball games, and I watched a lot of it. Maybe more than I like to admit to most people. So we're back here.
There's no shame in that. Most people watching this probably did too.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Most normal people, I should have said. But yeah, back here Friday, 7-game slate, 9 on FanDuel. And just kind of recalibrating after Christmas. It certainly feels like Monday after, having football yesterday. And it doesn't feel like a Friday, but no big deal for these purposes, NBA slate. And ready to break it all down.
That's right, the kid. I am early, so bring the ambulance. Call 911. We got Jason in chat. Took 19th in the $25 NBA yesterday for $550. Just needed a couple more for a big payout. That's still a nice solid day. 25 into 550 DC. That's a solid day right there. That's a solid day in the streets. So
that's a solid day, like you said, but a painful day when you're that close, right? I assume just a few points from the top 10 where, all the real money is. We're not complaining about turning 25 into 550, but those days can be, depending on how it all goes down, on the sweat late, some of the most painful days, even though, you turn a massive ROI on the day. So a little bit of both worlds there.
Yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad. Yeah. The bright spots, you gotta feel good about them. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Because, as DFS players, it's a daily game, and you only get so many days where it's like really that good. You know what I mean? And that's what you're hoping for, is when you get those days, you can obviously capitalize, like DC saying, but you also got to feel good about yourself, because that's still a nice win there. So congrats to you. But I get what DC's saying. When you get that close, you want to be able to close it out. But it's friggin' hard, man. It's hard to close out. It's competing with a lot of teams. It's tough out there. It's tough in the streets. But
nothing you can do but watch the games and hope for the best. It's not you can't
think about all the teams that are sitting there. I guess in Denver, it's a little earlier. It's like 8, 9 o'clock, whatever. And if you're down in Massachusetts here, it's like, 11:30, 12, you're sitting there and you're just absolutely bashing your head into the wall because your teams were up top and you're just slowly moving down because you got no Nikola Jokic, and he is just dropping the hammer on people who faded Nikola Jokic. Like, that's got to be a tough scene. If you faded Nikola last night, that's the upside that man has. When the game goes good, DC, and that game went good, it goes really good.
Yeah, nothing worse than seeing your winnings slowly fade away as the last game goes off. I assume 19th probably had Nikola Jokic in the lineup. What did he put up? 90 or something like that? I mean,
if you were that close, you had to have Nikola. I can't imagine you didn't have Nikola Jokic.
Monster game from Anthony Edwards as well. So certainly that last game decided a lot of winners.
Yeah, if you're a DFS player, you were watching, no doubt. And honestly, man, that Denver game was awesome. Like, if you didn't watch that game, honestly, you should go back and watch the game. It was that good. It was a great game. It was kind of wild at the end, the comebacks and everything that happened. But DC, I don't know if you saw it. Did you see the presser after, where all of a sudden Jokic has this fresh fade and he's got this Taco Bell sweater on. I mean, like, the guy is just seriously, to wear that, to get a cut right after you drop like 60, what do you, 56 and triple double and stuff like that, to get a fresh fade and then to go on the presser with a Taco Bell sweater on. I mean, you just know you're the man when you do that.
Yeah, Jokic is the man, no doubt. I didn't see it until our guy Big T posted about it. As usual, spending about half his day slurping Nikola Jokic. So there's like 3 or 4 tweets a day from Tony on that. So I did see it via Big T.
I mean, what do you expect from Big? I mean, Big Homer 44 is just a massive slob. He loves slobbing on Nikola Jokic's knob. That's what he does. That's his thing right there. He can't help
Listen,
it.
if you got to be slobbing a knob, Nikola Jokic, yeah, you could choose worse, right? You get like your every single day 65 fantasy points. So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're slobbing the dude who dropped 106 fantasy points or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, this shit is just insane. Like, it's absolutely wild what Jokic is doing. You gotta admit it. And honestly, it kind of foreshadowed. Like, Jamal Murray's been awesome too. It's just when Jokic does that, is like, oh, what did Jamal do? Oh, 35 and 10 or whatever. Like, oh, that's not that big of a game right there. I mean, come on, Jamal, be better. So yeah, it was a great night last night in the association. My boy Ant showed out. He was awesome too. We had some great performances. So it was a fun day. Ready to get back and talk 7 games here tonight. Before we get into the games, guys, smash the like button on the video. Let's get those likes up nice and early. If you guys haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel here. You get notified every time we go live for these free shows. So you make sure you ring that bell, get subscribed for all the free content we have on this channel. All right, DC, 7 games here. Let's dive into it here. Obviously, there is still some news to kind of figure out here on this slate, but some of the games here, we already have a little bit of the news, which is nice. So kind of can break it down, the what ifs and stuff. We'll go by the Saber line of games here right now. So Miami and Atlanta first up on the slate here. Obviously, no Tyler Hero for Miami here. Also, Bam Adebayo is doubtful, so looking like he'll be out for the slate. And then you have a few guys probable here for Miami. Pele Larson and Nikola Jovic probable here. And then on the Atlanta side, really, we just missing Porzingis, DC. So few guys out, but good players out. High usage guys out for both these teams, and maybe a spot where we can attack early in the slate.
Yeah, 250 total in this one. Atlanta favored by 3, so should be high scoring, should be close, which obviously overall leads to a great DFS environment. Assuming Adebayo misses, he's listed doubtful. I would be pretty surprised if he played. I mean, first player in, right? Got to be Khalil Ware. Just a monster when he starts at center, when he gets some minutes without Bam. He can perform with Bam in there, but he's a natural center, right? I kind of think the fit with Bam is a little clunky in general, but with Bam almost assuredly off the court, 6,200 Ware on DraftKings in a high total game. He can run, should be pacey. He's, as of now, I think maybe the first guy in my lineup. So, yeah, Khalil Ware for Miami. Get him in there. I don't think you have to stop there with Miami. I mean, most of these guys look like pretty good plays to me. I like Norman Powell in this matchup. Pace-up matchup, can get to the rim here, I think. Jaquez off the bench looks fine to me. Wiggins, Davion Mitchell, I think kind of secondary pieces, but not bad plays, I don't think, at their price points. So a lot of good plays in this one from Miami, and then Atlanta too. I mean, Trae Young, this will be his 4th game back. He's played 20, 26, and then 31 minutes last game. Kind of have to assume he's a full goal here, right? I think you could see 34, 35 minutes from Trae Young. I think that puts him in play with a little bit of a price discount at 8,800. I think the other guards, Daniels, Nah, are just too expensive to consider with Trae Young back, so they're kind of out of the equation for me. Reese Shea seems like a decent value, maybe with limited upside though. Like you're hoping for 25, 30, which gets the job done at 4,300 for sure. But I just don't know if there's much ceiling beyond that. And then, of course, our man Jalen Johnson rightfully ascended rather to his throne as the top priced overall player on the slate, even 10K on DraftKings. Just huge minutes, huge production every single game. Another player who benefits from a pace-up matchup, and I think he benefits too from no Bam Adebayo, who's the best Miami defender off the court. So, yeah, Jalen Johnson, Khalil Ware, maybe some Trae Young, Norman Powell. Really good game to kick off the slate.
Yeah, I am a little butthurt by Khalil Ware and his performance when I played him last time out. I had a really good team, and I think it was that big 2-2-2 they ran on DraftKings, and I had a really good team, and my main bus was Mr. Khalil Ware, and I'm still holding a grudge, but I will begrudgingly play him. What?
Didn't he put up like 40?
No, he put up like 22 or so, 25.
Oh, I see that. I was reading the minutes as points. That makes sense.
Yes, yeah. They confuse you because they shifted all that stuff around, DC. They changed up the look on the game log look from last couple of years. It throws
Big T's not going to be happy with game logs being mixed around.
Yeah. They're messing with Big T's game logs. He definitely doesn't like it here, but yeah, no. So Khalil Ware, I mean, he's been great though. You can't really complain with it that much, but yeah, no, it's the they don't even have, this is how bad he played, DC. They have him as playing 21 minutes and getting 5 points and 9 rebounds, but they have him as 0 fantasy points. And which is what I felt like when I played him on that slate. So yeah.
Frankly, if you're trying to win a GPP, it might as well be 0 when they put up that performance.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's so annoying too. But he's a great play here. I agree with where was the chatter here? I think is CC Bets Live 812. I agree with him. No, that's not even the comment. Oh, here we go. As long as Trae playing, load up on Miami. Atlanta's defense is bad as expected with him on the floor. I agree. We got to load up on Miami tonight, DC. This is a spot. I like Hawkes. I don't even I hate Andrew Wiggins. I despise playing this guy. But even him at 5,700, like, I think the price tags are just so cheap. We got to play some of these Miami guys. So I'm loading up the boat here. Hawkes and Ware are my two favorite. And then I think we could play Powell, Wiggs. I mean, like, I could play 4 of these Miami guys, no problem here. And then bring it back with one of the 2 top Atlanta guys. I'm fine with playing Trae on the other side. I'm fine with playing Jalen Johnson if I have the money to spend to get the Jalen Johnson. The problem is there's a lot of good spends on the slate. And I do think Trae, although it doesn't kill Jalen Johnson's upside because he literally almost had a 24-point triple-double last game, 1 rebound shy, put up 55 fantasy points. I do think it hurts his absolute ceiling score with Trae Young back. So from that standpoint, 10K, do I have to play Jalen Johnson? No. Is he in play though? 100% in play. But I do like the Trae Young price tag at 8,800 here. And I don't think I need anybody else on Atlanta.
Agreed.
I will say I do like what I'm seeing from Asa Newell. I liked him earlier in the year, but he really just wasn't getting minutes. He was getting very inconsistent minutes, just random spots. They need they'd be getting like whooped, and they'd let him go in there, and he'd be playing well, so they keep him in for a little bit. And they were missing a lot of pieces randomly at times this year, and he looked good to me. He still looks good. He looks like someone who, to me, needs to have a real role off the bench, whether it's just like 15 minutes a night, but it's consistent off the bench. Like I think he has played well enough to deserve that. And honestly, this Hawks bench kind of sucks. So I don't see why you wouldn't want to give a young guy like that like 15, 18 minutes off the bench. So he's 3,400. I think if you're MMEing, not that crazy if you want to take like a shot in the dark, but the problem is I just don't think the minutes are going to be there. So I outside of that, like Ricochet, I can't play Ricochet. If you want like 23, 25, I think he's going to get that, but I don't know. I want more upside in any guy, and he just doesn't seem like he has it. It's like capped a little bit. So yeah, that's this game. But I want to be heavy on Miami. Miami's the side that I'm gonna take a stand on and try and go in on, and hopefully he doesn't kill me here. Small forwards, cheeks. Yeah, I mean, small forwards been cheeks for like 3 weeks now. DC, like every slate, small forward has been and Hawk is a small forward. Powell's small forward. I mean, like I think it might be a slate where we just take our small forward from this game.
Yeah, both Hawkins and Powell feel really safe. Hawkins, these last 3 games without Tyler Hero, he's been at 35 minutes a game, even coming off the bench in all 3. So the minutes are secure, and it kind of seems like people don't think that, right, with bench players, that their minutes are going to be capped, and it's just not the case with Haka. So I like that call. I think it's close between him and Powell. I do like both guys more than Wiggins. If we're ranking the Heat,
oh yeah,
I think it goes where Hawkes, Powell, Wiggins, Davion Mitchell is kind of the 5 guys I'm looking at.
Yeah. I think I'd have them ranked probably the exact same way. Yeah. I would have them ranked the exact same way. So yeah, I like it. And like I said, you can bring it back with one of those 2 studs if you want to bring it. I mean, it's NBA DFS. You don't have to bring it back with anyone. You don't need bring backs. But if you wanted to, I think you could do something here. Some people are saying Sadiq Bey, small forward. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's no small. I'm saying small forward's been consistently weak for like multiple weeks. And even guys like Bey, like I can poke holes in Sadiq Bey. Like I can poke holes in a lot of those guys. The Miami guys, I feel like, I don't know, DC, like outside of blowout, like how isn't, and even in blowout, like how isn't one of like Powell or Hawkes getting there? Like I just don't, like I don't see it. Like I think one of those guys almost has to get there.
Agreed. How many Miami is too many? I think you could play 3. I'll probably stop there.
I think you could play 3. I honestly wouldn't say no to 4, but it's going to depend on how much other value we get. Do we get more news that makes guys like more must plays? That's going to be more the question for me, because right now Miami looks really good to me. That's all I'm going to say. They look very good to me. All right, let's keep going here. Let's go to Pacers and Boston here. This game's in Indiana, and what we're working with right now, Boston pretty healthy. Yeah, nobody out. Boucher's still out, but no one that really matters is out. They get Walsh back. My boy Hugo Gonzalez last game, I told y'all he's just good. 37 minutes, 6 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 26 fantasy points. Nice little game for old Hugo Gonzalez at 3,700. This dude's a baller. He's a. I think the Celtics like low key just like steal these guys in the draft, and I think their team's just normally so good that you don't even like see. Like normally Hugo Gonzalez wouldn't even be playing DC. He'd probably be in the G League, getting like if Tatum was there, and if they didn't trade, like think if they didn't blow their roster up and they just kept it and they just kept going, like he probably wouldn't play at all. He wouldn't even seen a minute at this point. But he's getting real minutes, and he's doing good with them. The problem is now they get Walsh back, and they jacked his price up to 4,200. So I don't think we need to, on this slate, look to these guys. But he's someone that I think you need to bookmark. Like whenever we see one of these forwards out, we gotta look to load up on, especially when he's 3K.
Yeah, he played like the last 28 minutes of the game last time out. Obviously, part of that due to just playing well, right? So the coach gave him run, but that's something you can know because not every coach is like that. Some coaches have really strict rotations, and it doesn't really matter how the bench guys are doing. But yeah, he played a ton. Minot got hurt in the first half, it looks like. He's back in there, and then Walsh back in too. So yeah, Hugo, I think more of a guy to keep an eye on than maybe to play on this slate. Low total in this one, sitting at 222. And these teams just played a very low scoring game 2 games ago, finished 103-95. So unlike the last game, a little bit hesitant to go to this one too heavily, and 2 mostly healthy teams as well. So I'm not crossing off entirely, but one of the least interesting DFS games on the slate, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's one game that, it's tough to like throw out too many plays here. I saw someone bring up maybe Derek White in the chat. I just can't do Derek White unless somebody's out right now. He's just not doing it for me unless we get guys out for the most part. Peyton Pritchard, another guy. Like, I love Peyton Pritchard. I think he's a great player, especially fantasy player. When we get guys out and that role gets bumped, he's awesome. I mean, we saw it. What was it? 2 games ago, Toronto, 59 fantasy points, almost put up a triple-double, 33 points. But right now, I just think I don't need it. Like, unless I go into like a mid-tier build and I fall on it as a last piece, I probably don't need it. And the Pacers, kind of similar to me. The only thing I kind of like with the Pacers is I do like the 2 guards, Nemhard, TJ McConnell. It's not the best matchup because the Celtics matchups are not really that great right now with the pace and everything like that. But if I had to like pull a play out, it'd probably be TJ McConnell, 4,400. Like, he's been getting it done, and he can get it done whether it's 15, 18 minutes. He gets bumped up to like 21 minutes, though. That means he's balling and you're gold. So, yeah, I think he's the one play I could pull out DC from the Pacer side that I don't mind. But I'm with you. It's kind of one of those games where, yeah, actually, if you were to play anyone from Boston, it would be Jaylen Brown. I think I agree with that. I don't know if I'm going to get to Jaylen Brown, but he has been great. DC 51, 37, 61, 52, 51 in his last, 5 games. Like, he has been good enough. And if you don't want to deal with small forward and you just want to spend up, he's right there.
Yeah, no problem with Jaylen Brown. I prefer Jalen Johnson and probably not get into both guys with their price tags, but I agree with you. Best play in this game is Jaylen Brown. No problem with including him, just not super high on my priority list.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. No TJ McConnell love?
Not on a bigger slate at 4,400, but he'll be good when he's out there. Just not enough minutes.
Yeah, no, I get it. He's never getting enough minutes though. Like, you're never gonna like the minutes you get from TJ McConnell. It's just what he does for you in those minutes. He's such a good point per minute guy. But I get it. I get it. No one wants
I'm with you on the TJ McConnell love in general. Just don't know if I can get there on this.
He's
slate.
just such a good. Can we just get 1 year of fantasy where TJ McConnell starts and plays like 30 minutes? It would be amazing for fantasy.
He needs to be on some shitty team where he's just like the bona fide lead point guard. Maybe putting up like
can we get him on like a Washington with a bunch of like young guys around him and just let him be like the floor general? You know what I mean? Just like let him run the show and set these guys up.
I swear he'd put up 50 fantasy points a game in the right role in minutes, but
yeah, and he'd probably only take like 8 to 10 shots in the process and still put up like 40 or 50 a night. He'd be so good with 30. All right. Let's keep it. Also, though, he'd probably slow down eventually because he plays with such a high motor. It's probably why Carlisle doesn't like to play him a lot, because he plays so hard all the time that he probably thinks over a full season, like, he might start to slow down because that's his like strength, is just that he plays so hard all the time. But
yeah, I can see that.
yeah, whatever. I think he could do it. Carlisle is the big of a terrorist as Kerr or Spo. No one's a bigger terrorist than Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr's number one on the list. Rick Carlisle can be 2 and Spo can be 3. But Kerr is number 1. We started this with Steve Kerr. He is number 1 on the list. We're not changing that. Monk for McConnell. Well, yeah, if they got rid of Westbrook, yeah, 100%. Get rid of Westbrook, trade for McConnell, give up Monk. Let's go. I want to see the Kings with TJ McConnell starting. That'll be dope. All right, let's go to Toronto and Washington here. Still waiting on some news with this one, DC, but it is pretty big news in terms of the slate here, right? We got Scotty Barnes questionable for this game here, and they're already down RJ Barrett, who's out for this one, who's been out. And I think Colin Murray Boyles is also questionable with an illness. So that's kind of decent news too, because he's been getting some good run here, 23, 19, and 25 minutes. And he's a pretty solid player. I like what I've seen from him when he's gotten a little roll bump. He's done pretty good. But my boy Sandro Mamu Kalishvili, he's been crushing DC. I really like this spot for him, regardless of, who's in, who's out. I think he's a pretty good play, even at 5,500. I can still play him. He's got the power forward eligibility too. But if Scotty's out, we really got to look at Quickly, Ingram, because those guys, even Jamal Sheed, I think would be a better play. Murray Boyles, if in, would be a better play. All these guys become better plays if Scotty's out. And I bet you they probably start like Jacoby Walter or something like that, who'd even be a value if he started.
Yeah, big news to wait for with Toronto. Obviously, with Scotty Barnes, news is huge for Toronto in this game in general. And we really haven't seen the big three for Toronto miss any time, right? Obviously, Barrett's been out, but that's been pretty much the whole season. But Barnes, Quickly, and Ingram have been in there like every single game. So we haven't gotten many opportunities to play multiple Toronto pieces. Could be the night if Toronto misses. If Barnes does play, I do like him quite a bit. I think he's the best play other than Mamu on Toronto if he's in there. So we'll see on that. But yeah, Mamu's got to be in play, 5,500. Jakob Poeltl out. Murray Boyles potentially out. They could be really thin at center. That would leave, if all those guys are out, only Jonathan Mogbo, I think, as the backup 5 if Murray Boyles sits. So yeah, Mamu, a good play regardless of who's out. But yeah, better play if Barnes or Murray Boyles ends up missing. Quickly and Ingram, I think both become awesome plays if Barnes is out. So can't say without the news, but yeah, we're going to want some Toronto here if Scotty Barnes does miss. And I do think the Washington side is much less interesting, kind of regardless. They got most of their team healthy right now. Slower pace with Toronto. Underdogs. I don't see a lot from the Washington side, but the Toronto side certainly interesting. Obviously, got to watch the news on Barnes and Murray Boyles.
Yes, Scotty Barnes did get a downgrade earlier in the afternoon. So, yeah, he's got an illness. He's not feeling well. It was Christmas yesterday. Scotty Barnes might have ate too many cookies or something like that. Whatever. He might be feeling a little ill. It also does seem like DC, all these teams, all of a sudden these players are all getting sick and getting ill. The illness is just passing around the teams right now because I just see illness pop up left and right, and it is that time of the year. So, could just need a day off for a little illness, midday downgrade. And Murray Boyles, I think same thing, right? So if both those guys miss, you talked about him, but what about Magda 3K in the Magba 3K in the chat from Hobbs? Yeah, I mean, if both those guys are out, then I think you could look at him at Stoneman 3K because I think he'd have to play. But if only one of these guys is out, I think it makes the other guy a really good play. So just kind of depends on, who's in, who's out. Because if like Scotty Barnes is ruled out and let's say Colin Murray Boyles is ruled in, I think he's a great play now with no Scotty Barnes. I would like him even more, DC. So
Murray Boyles.
yeah, because they'd be so thin at like that 4 position. And he's already kind of backing up Sandro, who they already don't love playing like massive minutes. So I think they'd both get like high 20s minutes, maybe 30. And in that situation, that'd be like the ultimate situation because I just play them both and get all the minutes, all the big minutes, or most of them anyways. So
I think you'd get all the big minutes plus some overlap with one of them playing the 4 as well. So yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I do think you'd get a little overlap too, for sure. If now let's just say the news goes perfectly for DFS and you get both guys out, DC, does that just make Ingram or Quickly like a lock for you, or do you want both of them? Like how do you go about that situation?
I think you could certainly play both. I'd probably want to separate them for the most part on each individual lineup, but yeah, I think their prices are fine to play both guys in that situation if Barnes especially is out. And what about? I think I think you could play both bigs, right? If those guys are out, you could play Mamu and Mogbo even potentially together, just because Mogbo is so cheap at 3K. So yeah, obviously huge news at Toronto. Hard to say right now.
He would be good. I would like Jamal Sheed. I think because a lot of like the guys that this team has are very interchangeable with the positions. So like I think Sheed gets a bump regardless if they miss both these guys, because they could do. I mean, they're playing Washington, so it doesn't. They don't need to be like. They don't need to have like a lot of size on the floor or anything like that. Like, so I think Sheed would just play a good amount in general. And I think he'd be one of my favorite values if both those guys were out. And I definitely want Quickly. 6,400 seems light if no Scotty Barnes. And I honestly, Ingram, a guy I never play, but in this situation, if both those guys are ruled out, I'd want to try and get 3 Toronto. So, I think would they be better plays in the Heat is the question, DC.
Not better plays than Khalil Ware, but with the rest of Miami, I think they're right there with them. And yeah, I'm not sure Quickly gets like a huge minutes bump without Scotty Barnes, maybe a slight one, but his role changes, right? Because Scotty Barnes does a lot of the initiating, starting the offense, playmaking, and I think most of that work that Barnes does would fall to Quickly. I kind of think Ingram, maybe his shot volume goes up, but I'm not sure his role changes as much as Quickly's does.
Yeah, I think he could get a little more of a playmaking role, and I do think he could get a few more shots, but I just think the price tag's kind of like he's not as expensive as he has been. He's been up in like the 7K range, I feel like, for a decent amount of time, high 6s or 7Ks, and now he's down to 6,400 for a guy who's probably going to get 15 to 20 shots, DC, on this slate if there's no Scotty. So, and there's still no Podol, maybe no Colin Murray Boyles. So you got a few guys down if possible that I want against Washington. I'm in. And the Washington side, they're just another side. Like I really don't love picking on them unless I get some guys like out. And right now they just got Kispert, who's out, and maybe Champagny, who's questionable with another illness that we gotta kind of wait on. But that's not like a big start, like a starter, like a Keyshawn George or a Sarr or a CJ McCollum, where I don't know if it's going to change a ton.
Yeah, totally agree.
All right, let's keep it moving here, guys. Don't forget, smash the like button on the video here. Check us out, runpuresports.com for all your DFS and sports betting needs during the holidays. We got you covered. Core plays for NBA, NFL, even hockey, whatever that is, NHL. We got it here. College sports, both college football and college basketball. Everything. Best ball's rolling. We've been doing playoff best ball in the chat. I did a show earlier today with one of the sharper guys in the industry, Sacrilegious. We're going through a very cool sidekick tool that they have over there at Legendary Upside. If you're into playoff best ball, you should go check that show out. He's a really sharp guy, and we spent about an hour and a half going through teams, drafting teams, talking best ball strategy, talking about the sim tool and how to use it and how it, kind of works and everything like that. If you're interested, if you do play a lot of, best ball and stuff, you should check that show out. We recorded it earlier today. It's on this channel, free, so go check it out if you would like. All right, DC, let's go to Charlotte and Orlando here. Paolo Banchero, 8,700 is the first guy that just sticks right out to me on this list. He kind of disappointed for me last time out. Didn't do that great for his price tag, DC, but I kind of want to go right back to him. The price tag just seems so light against Charlotte. I think he could really bully this team a lot here. I don't know. I want to be in on Paolo here. Can you talk me off Paolo? Because he's disappointed me a little bit, but I think I'm going back in for Max Payne.
No, I like the Paulo call in this matchup. Obviously, no Suggs for Orlando, no Franz Wagner. I will say Paulo's he did have the ceiling game against Denver, but in general, the ceiling hasn't quite been there like you would think for a player.
Dude, Denver's like a nut matchup when the game goes the right way. When you're not getting blown out by Denver, like Denver is the nut matchup. We've seen Cooper Flagg go absolutely nuclear against Denver. Saw Ant have a really good game against Denver. We've been seeing some guys have some big games against Denver.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like you said, I do like Paulo. Anthony Black will start for Suggs, has been awesome, but $7K, it's a lot to pay. I know he's coming off a 44 fantasy point game, but I kind of put him more in the mid 30s generally. So don't know if I'll pay the $7K price tag for Anthony Black. Bain seems too expensive. So that kind of leaves Banchero as the guy for Orlando. And you generally do one apiece against this Charlotte team. So yeah, no problem with Banchero. I'm not sure I'll get there, but definitely think he's a good play tonight. And then on the Charlotte side, I don't know. DK just doesn't like Moussa Diabate very much, coming off a huge game at 4,100. Bumped him up a little bit, 4,600, but no Kalkbrenner, no Plumlee. To prove last game that they're willing to let him play if he's playing well, game's close. 36 minutes for Diabate. He's got to be an awesome play at center. Maybe not the ideal matchup against Orlando, but hard for me to pass up that price and upside that Diabate is bringing to the table. But other than him on Charlotte, there's just not a ton I like. LaMelo obviously playing, but not big minutes, right? He's kind of stuck at 25, it seems like, for the most part. I think Kneppel, Bridges, Miller, all a little bit too expensive with LaMelo back in there. So mostly Diabate for me on the Charlotte side. And then I agree with you, Banchero, the best play on Orlando.
Yeah, and I see some people, someone said Tyus Jones took more shots than Paolo last game. One thing I will note is Tristan Da Silva is going to be back in the rotation and, was a big piece to the rotation, especially when guys were out. Tristan Da Silva was. Now he has been out for like 10, 11 days or so. So, maybe they kind of ease him back in a little bit. He is 3,900 though. Maybe that affects Tyus Jones a little bit with him back in the rotation. Tyus Jones has been good the last two games. I don't see him getting this much run though. I think that was just him playing really well, but he is 3,800. I think Tristan might hurt him a little bit, possibly. Anthony Black's been playing really good. He's kind of the guy, DC, that might just be really good that they can't take off the floor as much, even when everyone's healthy. I think he's one of those guys. So maybe the Suggs injury doesn't hurt as much because Black's kind of doing a lot of the stuff and can do, a lot of things, especially for fantasy, just as good, if not better, than Jalen Suggs. Not saying he is better. I'm saying like for fantasy, he might, because he is kind of one of those guys that can do it all, right? He's a bigger guard. He can rebound as a guard. He can play make. He can score. He's kind of got that full game for fantasy that we like. So I don't know. 7K is a healthy price tag for Anthony Black.
Yeah. I think it's a little much, honestly. I do expect him to put up 35 fantasy points, so seems like a good floor play, but I'm just not sure the tournament winning upside is there for him on most nights.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. The Charlotte side, Diabate seems like the clear and obvious, top play. I do think it's crazy though, DC. This guy played 36 minutes and had 37.5 fantasy points. And he had like, what do you have? Like 29.5 at half.
Yeah.
He was smashing at halftime of that game and played a shit like, but the problem with Musa is he does not take many shots. And the shots he does take are like right at the rim. So like if he's not getting those easy putbacks or dunks or layups, he's probably not shooting it. So you're not going to get many like points. So what you need is high volume rebounds, right? You need those double digit rebounds, maybe some stocks. He's pretty good at time at maybe grabbing some stocks. I mean, you're not going to get 6 stocks. That's an outlier, but a couple stocks, two or three, maybe, to get you there. And his price tag did go up, but I agree with you. Still probably the best play. LaMelo Ball, I mean, how can we play him? They did bring his price tag down at least. It's down. It was 8,800, I'm pretty sure, since he came back, and it's now down to 8K. And like he's been decent, but the minutes, DC, I hate spending up for a guy that I can't trust the minutes, and that's him.
Yeah, especially an expensive guy. I know the price is down from where he typically is, but 8K for, I mean, can you really project him for more than 25 minutes? I don't really think so, right? Maybe you push him to 26 or 27, but
I don't know how you can.
Yeah. So
if I could, I'd play him. If he was playing like 35 minutes, he'd be the highest, one of the highest owned players. Because
honestly, as soon as we see the minutes one time, right? As soon as it'll probably come when we don't expect it, but as soon as he plays 33, 34 minutes, then I'll kind of say that's his new baseline, but got to see it first at 8K. Can't do it right now.
Yeah, and then, all these other players like Brandon Miller and stuff. Like I like Brandon Miller a ton, but they still got Bridges. Con Knippel's been really good. Yeah, I think it's just Musa for me. So someone Sid asked JB or Paulo. I think JB's just the safer play right now, the way they're playing. I like Paulo. I really like Paulo. But if you're saying one or the other, I think JB is, he's a little more expensive, but I think it'd be JB.
I think it's close with the 1K price difference, but I am with you. I do lean Jaylen Brown slightly, and Paul's going to be on looking like 20% here per Saber, so not like you're getting an ownership discount or anything like that. So I'm with you, Jaylen Brown over Paulo. You could play both. I have no problem with that either.
Yeah, you could definitely play both, but if you're just asking one or the other, that's the answer here. Let's go to Philly and Chicago, another game where we do need some news here. I was just looking to see if any more news popped here on this specifically. I don't see it. Joel Embiid is questionable for Philadelphia tonight. Obviously, if he were to be out, DC, I think we could go right to Andre Drummond at 5,800. That would be the obvious play here. But they also have other guys, VJ Edgecombe in spots has been good when guys are out. It does look like they're getting back Quentin Grimes, who was out last game with an illness. He's probable. But, what are you seeing here with the Sixers? Is it as simple as like, if Embiid's out, I can go to him. If Embiid's in, I don't like him as much. It is a good spot against Chicago.
Yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it. So much depends on Embiid here, but yeah, really good game environment overall. 241 total. Philly favored by 1. If Embiid sits, I think Maxi becomes a really fun spend up at 9,800. I like Maxi a lot more when Embiid is off the court. Beyond him, I don't see a ton. Even if Embiid sits, other than Drummond, I think it would be the Maxi Drummond pairing, and I like pairing those two guys together anyway. When Drummond's in the starting lineup, I think we've talked about that before. Makes a lot of sense. Maxi driving can dish to Drummond. Drummond can clean up Maxi misses with putback dunks, that type of thing. So yeah, a lot depends on Embiid. Uh, I want to be in on this game anyway, but if Embiid's in, I don't know how much interest overall in Philly I'm going to have. I just don't see who that would be at their price tags right now. So obviously we'll have to watch the Embiid news. And in Chicago, I mean, are they fully healthy? They got like everybody, I think, ready to play in this game, which it's hard to go to fully healthy teams on a 7-game slate, just because, there's just value everywhere. And not that, Giddy couldn't have a big game or Vucevic or something like that, but compared to other plays on the slate who are mispriced, I don't see real mispricings on the Chicago side. So potentially, despite the high total and close spread, a game I won't have a lot of if Embiid plays. If Embiid's out, then yeah, Maxey and Drummond, the two guys I'll be looking at most closely.
Yeah, Barlow's probable for me. I don't got him as a Q tag, so it looks like Barlow's going to be in. And yeah, I mean, notable. He'll play. So yeah, he missed last game or two. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 games, but definitely last game. So they'll have him back. I do think it's a good like pace up spot for Philly. If Embiid's out, the matchup does set up really well for Drummond, Tyrese Maxey, even Edgecombe. I think those 3 guys, the matchup sets up pretty well for Philly. And I mean, can't argue with a stud like Maxey. I know he had a bad game last time out, but this is a really good bounce back spot here for Maxey. And I do like him a lot if Joel Embiid's out. I'll really like Tyrese Maxey. And you can't argue with the minutes either. 39, 38, 41, 39 minutes. I mean, he's a stud and he's playing big minutes, DC. We love to see it. It's bigger than and like it's big too when you're stud. Even just going from 35 to like possibly 39 or 40 is still like a decent jump when you're talking about the stud range. So I always like getting guys where 40 minutes in a regular season game is very plausible for them, and they do it almost nightly. And that's kind of Tyrese Maxey. He's getting close to that or getting that every night.
Yeah, and I don't think Philly or Chicago rather has the guard play to really contain Maxey's explosiveness. Like Giddey's an awesome player, but a little bit like slow-footed, very, very different from Maxey. And then Vucevic, again, good player, can't really defend the rim, right? He just doesn't have the athletic ability to prevent Maxey from scoring at the bucket, and he should be able to get to the bucket against the Chicago guard. So it is dependent on Embiid. I don't think I'm going to go to Maxey if Embiid's in, but if he's out, yeah, I love Maxey here.
Yeah, Bulls not a great defensive team, and
No.
you kind of laid it out. They're not a great defensive team. They don't guard the rim well. Yeah, this is a good spot for Mr. Maxey. I'm with you. Let's get the Embiid. Hopefully Embiid's out, and then we can get some load up on some Maxey here. And I'm with you on Chicago. I don't love it when they're all healthy, but I will say, DC, the price tags look light on Vucevic and Kobe White. But yeah, even Buzelis, it looks a little light on, but I can't do it. I probably won't do it here in this spot. Let's go to the next game here. 2 games left on the slate here. Phoenix and New Orleans. Next one up. DC, I got Phoenix. Still no Jalen Green, no Grayson Allen for tonight. That's about all the notable news on the Phoenix side. And then on the New Orleans side, we got Herb Jones out and Jordan Poole probable to go. He was upgraded to probable, so it looks like he'll be in. And that kind of stinks for New Orleans, but Herb Jones out. I do think, that's going to bump up Sadiq Bey a little bit in the pool. 5,800 though. It's not like he's super cheap. So, he's still got a decent tag at 5,800. And I don't know, is there anyone like sticking out to you that you really want to play with pool back? Do you see anything I'm not seeing with the New Orleans side? I want to play my boy Queen nightly. He is really good. I wish there was more out.
Yeah, I still think Queen's fine at 7K. I mean, he's putting up 40 every night. So yeah, that works.
Good.
Yeah, he is awesome. So yeah, Queen is fine. I think he's probably my favorite play on New Orleans. Zion down to 7,200.
Toronto guys in, by the way. Toronto guys in.
All right. That narrows things down a little bit. I think quickly Ingram not so interesting anymore. And I'll reiterate, I do think actually with Barnes in, I do think he's the best play, maybe other than Mamu on Toronto. Pelicans, Queen is fine. I think Zion's fine at 7,200. It's just, again, kind of like LaMelo, right? He's going to be productive in the minutes, but are the minutes going to be there is harder to know. Trey Murphy, price decreased down to 7,100. He's kind of been living close to the 8K range, but I just think he's an okay play here against Phoenix. Not a great play. And then, Jordan Poole, he must have missed his flight to China. He's still terrorizing us here. So can't go. Yeah. We'll get you a new ticket, Jordan.
DC, get the expedited ticket out there. Come on.
Yeah, lost his passport or something. So, I mean, I wish we could play Fears, but with Poole in there, it's just kind of hard to do, even at 4,900. So I'm mostly off of New Orleans. Phoenix, I think, is a little more interesting with Grayson Allen out. I mean, I think you have to see big minutes from Dylan Brooks, Royce O'Neal, who's down to 4,800. Again, not the highest upside guy, but the price is certainly right with O'Neal. You could consider him. And then I do think Devin Booker, probably the best play on Phoenix, 8,900. I don't like him quite as much as, Maxey if Embiid's out, or Jalen Johnson, or even Trae Young. So I don't know if I'll get him, but I do think he's got the upside at 8,900 to make him a viable play at least. But yeah, overall, not crazy about this game, which, I mean, another high total, 241. So not one to completely cross off, but I just don't see any individual plays that stand out as super great values to me.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, Mark Williams is projecting really well. I don't get it as much. Just the minutes are never there with him. But I mean, he can have a big game. It's not like, I guess, crazy. The guys are just never getting more minutes here. But 5,400, at least the price tag starting to go down a little bit. Colin Gillespie's been pretty good, DC. I mean, honestly, been really good for the tag even. He's been doing really well. I don't know if on this slate I'll get there because I like a few plays in his range a little more. Devin Booker, he had the big game, 2 games ago against Golden State. But other than that, I mean, that was 56. He's had, what has he had, like 40, 32, 80, 18, 41, 42. Kind of right in line, but like, I think I'd rather Paolo. I think I'd rather Trae Young. But he's another guy. He's got a solid projection, and there's ownership going to this game, DC. Like, I see a lot of ownership in this game.
Yeah, I mean, 27% for Jordan Goodwin, 26 for Royce O'Neal, 25 for Gillespie, 15 for Brooks. So yeah, mostly on the Phoenix side, but
mostly on the Phoenix side.
I'll be honest. I kind of think all those ownership numbers are higher than I'd want them to be to invest heavily in Phoenix. So yeah,
I think those ownership numbers could also very much change depending on if we get some news about 1 or 2 spots that are missing guys. So I think those numbers could also change a little bit. But yeah, those seem high. Those seem high for the Phoenix guys here. But yeah, no, I guess it's probably going to be our biggest stands that we're maybe a little lower on Phoenix. Royce O'Neal, 4,800. He hasn't been that good recently, but the tag does seem a little light. But all of them are projecting really well right now. So that is interesting. Who do we like more in the Gillespie range right now? Barnes is in. I still like Quickly. I think it's a good matchup for Quickly. So I'm still going to like Quickly. I like Jaime Jaquez in that 6K range more. I know they're not the same position, but you just asked the range. So I'm just giving you an answer to guys I like more in that range. Khalil Ware's in that range. I like him more. If Andre Drummond is starting, I'll like him more. So a couple guys. Again, I don't think I think he's one of the better plays of the Phoenix guys. Like if I was just looking at all the plays, I think he's one of the better Phoenix plays of them all. But I just don't understand that. Maybe like Keyshawn George. I don't love playing Washington, but like Keyshawn George isn't a terrible play. Yeah. So those are the guys just off the top of my head that I could see from that range here. And then the New Orleans side, I agree with DC. I think like the two plays on the New Orleans side would be like Derek Queen and Sadiq Bey in large field tournaments here. Kobe or Keyshawn, I'd probably go Kobe.
Yeah, I agree. Kobe. And yeah, I agree with you on New Orleans Queen. And I'll probably pass on 5,800 Sadiq Bey, but I get the play.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. All right. Last game up on the slate here. Milwaukee and Memphis here. Kevin Porter Jr., DC sticker tag right here. 9 fucking K Kevin Porter Jr. There is no shot, DC, if I told you before the season Kevin Porter Jr. was 9K. There's no shot you wouldn't be laughing me off of a show, laughing me out of a room, whatever. It's insane that this dude is 9K, but genuinely been really friggin' good. And I get it. Like, he's been awesome. Giannis obviously not there too, which very much helps Kevin Porter's like upside, but he's just been really good since being back. And you can't really argue with it, but 9K, it's just a really hard thing to click him over certain guys in his range.
Yeah, and honestly, I really haven't profited from the Kevin Porter Jr. ascendance. I mean, he came back from injury at 6,400 and has pretty much smashed his price tag every game outside of maybe one on his way up from 6,400 to 9K. So, it shouldn't really affect my decision, but it's hard to jump on board at 9K on Kevin Porter. If you've been on it, I think it's just a little different, right? At least psychologically, just because you've already benefited from it. You've seen the results. He's probably helped you win money. But I just don't know if I can do 9K KPJ. I don't think he's a bad play. I'm just probably not going to get there myself. I don't see much else from Milwaukee, though, with KPJ just doing so much that I really want to play. What's your guy, Bobby Portis? Did he do another big one? No, not really. 27 last time out. That seems more like it for Mr. Portis. I don't love him at 5,900.
I'll go right back to him tonight, DC. You're trying to call me out right now. I'll go right back to him.
I'll leave Bobby Portis.
He's gonna manhandle what's his name down low? Jaren Jackson. He's gonna manhandle Jaren Jackson down low. He's going to give him that stare down, too, after with those crazy eyes after he puts one on him. He's going to dunk on him and then give him that stare down, that mean mugging him.
Portis doesn't deserve to go, but he would be a good fit on the China squad. He put up some points.
Oh, will you stop it? No. He's not meant for the China squad. Jaren Jackson's meant for the China squad. He's
already on it. We need a backup for him.
Yeah, you're saying Bobby Portis should be on it, too?
Yeah.
No, come on.
All right. Well, listen. I think we agreed on.
Bobby Portis has been a hero for many of us in DFS over the last few years. We can't put him on the China squad. You know how many times Giannis has been out and he dropped 60?
Certainly, you must agree Kuzma can go to China, though.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. Kyle Kuzma to China. There we go. He's the sixth man in China. Who did I say was the sixth man last time? Put him as the seventh man. Kuzma can be the sixth man.
I think of all the players we've talked about, Kuzma is probably the actual most likely to actually go.
Bronny? No, actually, there's no way because LeBron wouldn't let it. So there's no way he'll go to China.
Maybe. LeBron loves China. It could happen.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point, actually. That's a good point.
No, I don't know. I just don't see a ton here. Obviously, the Ja Morant news matters. Cam Spencer, I mean, if Ja's out, I don't hate it, but another one I don't love this game. Last game on the slate here.
Yeah, Ja Morant. I mean, he's questionable right now. That kind of plays a big piece. He's also 7,800, which is finally he should be under AKDC. Honestly, he should be there, but that makes it interesting. But he's questionable. We're still waiting on that here. I mean, I do think the way Santi Aldama has just been boom or bust is so great for tournaments, DC. I mean, like it's like instantly you know if you're dead or not, but when the guy goes off, he goes absolutely ham off. Like it's crazy. But the other thing is he's not getting owned. So like I think Santi Aldama is one of those guys that you could maybe bump the projection on. And, you know, like I said, like, you know, he's going to have tough games, but I will just also say, like, the bad games, Minnesota, okay, 24 fantasy points, OKC, 18 fantasy points. All right, those are tougher spots right there. Like Utah, like against the easier spots. And like DC, I wouldn't put this as like a super tough spot here against Milwaukee. So I don't know. I think Santi Aldama should be in play here for play. They're still missing a lot of their bigs too. So like even if Ja's back, I don't think that affects Santi as much here. So I like him a little bit.
I like it, and you understand why he's not going to project as a super good value at 6,900 because he's been super volatile. I mean, you don't see game logs like this very often. A couple 58, 59s sandwiched by 19, 25, and 10, and then 39 and 38 before that. I think people look at that volatility as a negative thing, which, the floor is not as high, but what you really want is ceiling games for price tags, right? That's what wins GPPs, and Aldama has proven he can crush his price tag. If he puts up 55 again at 6,900, he's probably going to be the number one must play on the entire slate. And he's done that 2 of the last 3 games. So, and he's 5% owned. So you add it all up, he's got to be a good play with you.
One other guy too, I just want to mention, if Ja and Cedric Coward are out, which Cedric Coward's still questionable right now, Gigi Jackson played a ton last game, and he has 4K now. So I think he got a little price bump from 3K to 4K, but he is solid. And him playing that much, you don't even need that much run, but like that was interesting, DC. If those 2 guys are out, maybe he jumps back. I don't think he's in play right now at 4K, but if those 2 guys were out, maybe we could look at him at 4K.
Yeah, maybe a thought to keep in the chamber for a late swap, something like that. It makes sense to me.
Also, Javon Small came back last game, looked okay to me. He fouled a lot in his first couple, but I mean, he hadn't played in over a month, 2 months almost. So maybe he starts to dig into the guard minutes, even if Ja's out. So that's another thing we should keep an eye on. I don't think he's in play, but he's just another guard, and they had been lacking guard depth for like weeks now. So
Spencer's been like locked into minutes in a few of these games with Small back. Spencer could still get the minutes if he's playing well, but it wouldn't be a necessity like it has been in the last couple of games.
No, definitely not. But I just wanted to note that. I think we talked about pretty much it all. They do have a night slate over on DraftKings here. We're not going to like dig into it too much, but Detroit, Utah, and Clippers in Portland here. God, I hate the Clippers. No Zubac out. I do think if I was playing that game, I'm stacking the second game, and I'm lower on the Utah side with everybody or majority of those guys back. So maybe I'd play like a value, like a Collier or something like that, but I'd be lower on that game and higher on the second game. Hope the second game goes off. I don't like attacking Detroit. I stay away from Detroit here. So, yeah. All right, DC, let's do our anti-play here and then our plays of the day, and we'll get out of here. We got to get the cores and everything up over at runpuresports.com. Let's go pull it up right now. All right. All right, DC, I pulled up a list here. Who you got as your anti-play here on this list? Some of the highest owned as of now.
Kyle Kuzma, 5,400, 28% owned. I'll pass on Mr. Kuzma. I didn't even know he was going to be so highly owned today, but
that's a good one.
No, thank you on Kuzma. Hopefully, on his way to China shortly.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. I was contemplating that one. Let's go with Miles Turner's even projecting. Oh yeah, I don't like Miles Turner.
I almost chose him.
Yeah, Miles Turner. Just go to the squad. He's not like one of the highest owned, but I'll take Miles Turner. That's an easy one right there. Well, I know Tony Niehaus on the show. I think he's at practice right now. He's at practice with the kiddo. So DM him or shoot him a message in the NBA Discord. Ask him why he's not on the show. He should be on the show. He should be glazing Jokic for another hour. I mean, he only did it for like 4 hours last night on Twitter. And then
I'm sure he's tweeting about it right now.
He's probably tweeting again. Who is Tony Nias? Yeah, be there. I don't know who that guy is. Go figure it out. Come back to me. Let me know. All right, DC, play of the day here. Who's your favorite play of the day?
Well, he's going to be chalky, but I just can't see fading Khalil Ware. Assuming Bam is out. Yeah, most popular play on the slate, but even at 40% owned, I'll have 100%. So Khalil Ware, my favorite play.
I like that call. I should just go to right next guy. I'm going to go with someone lower, though. I think it's a bounce back spot here. Give me Tyrese Maxey, 9,800. Give me Tyrese Maxey here. I think it's a great spot for him to go nuke right now, projecting 7%. This is daily fantasy here. One bad game. That's okay. We can throw it out. He's good enough. I think he comes back and crushes here. DC, someone said McGowan's as value here. Do you like McGowan's if he starts as value?
Hasn't really been on my radar, I'll be honest. But yeah, the game log looks good. 3,600. Seems all right. I didn't really dig into him much. Don't want to say anything definitive. But yeah, at least based on the game log and game environment, he seems like a decent play if he's starting.
Yeah, right now with the value we have, I think you could look to him as long as he was starting. But yeah, I wouldn't expect what he did last time. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, Reggie's been pacing. He wants attention. He's got a bet over here and he pulled my shoe. He doesn't destroy shoes, but he will grab it and just lay on top of it. DC, I don't know if your dogs destroy your stuff. My dog won't destroy it, but he'll grab it and bring it over just to be look at me, but he won't chew on it or anything like that.
Yeah, my dog doesn't destroy it either, but it's socks with my dog. She'll take them out of the
socks.
And if you ignore her for long enough, she still won't chew them up, but she'll have like 13 socks like in a big pile.
Your pile of socks just sitting next to her.
She'll get more and more until you give her some attention.
Oh, that's so funny. So funny how dogs are. Wasn't that because, Poole was out. Yeah. Yep. I do think that had a lot to do with it. So that's why I'm not, crazy to jump back on the McGowan's train here. Probably why DC isn't either. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll be in the Discord with your questions here over at Run Pure Sports. If you're not a member, check it out. Become a member. Any membership on the site, you can get in the Discord. Super easy to do. Just link your account from the website and dive in. We have a customer support and waiting channel there. If you have any questions or are struggling to figure out how to link your account and get in the Discord, shoot us a question in there. Ask us, what am I doing wrong? We'll help you out. We'll guide you. Make sure you get in and you're all set. So do that. Check us out. For DC, though, and myself, JSU, good luck in the association tonight over on DraftKings, and we'll see you guys back here on Monday. Until then, for DC, I'm JSU. We're out of here. Peace.